We are live. We are live. Welcome to Sunday night college football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Flugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our ever-growing channel. Smash the like button if you like our content. Share the video with your family and friends. Welcome into the studio that sits on the corner of Keith Jackson Parkway and Kurt Gowdy Avenue, PATC community. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to be a legend in the chat room with your comments and with your phone calls later in the show. Tonight, we're going to get a little crazy. Tonight, we're going to have some fun. You know, this whole last week, it's been a heavy show. Every night, we've been talking about this situation in North Carolina. By the way, I've noticed other people are starting to talk about it now. Even our most critical critics of college football Peek Around the Corner, you know, we kind of do the homework and then they kind of lean over and cheat off our test score, and they still don't get the answers right. However, we're starting to notice people are starting to pick up what we're putting down when it comes to the North Carolina story. But that has been a heavy lift over this last week. And then yesterday, I felt we had to do it. I felt that I had to give out my comments about the Bill Hancock letter. Again, a heavy lift, right? Everything's been kind of heavy and dry. And well, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to do something crazy. Now, I was going to say, do not do this at home. Let a professional do it. It's too dangerous. But I want you all to put down your comments. I want you to get as crazy as I am tonight. We're doing our way too crazy, too early predictions. For the first time ever, the 12-team college football playoff brackets. We're doing it tonight. I know it's crazy. It makes no sense. We're in the portal. We don't even know. The dust hasn't even settled. It hasn't even settled. Who's going where? We don't know. It's not going to stop PATC. It's not going to stop us from getting everything wrong. We'll just be the first ones out of the gate. We're just going to be the first one out of the gate to get everything wrong. Look, we did PATC. Our predictions for the 2024 playoffs was Penn State, Georgia, Florida. What did I say? Penn State, Georgia, Florida State. They got screwed. The one team we did get right, the one team we got right in our predictions was Washington. So we went 1 out of 4. Now, I think in a 12-team playoff, even if it's the way too early crazy predictions, we're going to get better than 25%, aren't we? I'm going to get more than 3 out of the 12 correct, unless some crazy things happen. By the way, great Ryan Brooks. Super chat. Greg, can you tell my girlfriend Carrie that watching Holy Smokes Theater is a great way to spend date night? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to do this to you, Ryan Brooks, but I can't. Carrie, this is not a great way to spend date night. Life is too short. Tomorrow is not promised to anybody. Have Ryan take you out for a steak dinner and a potato. And if you're a vegetarian, go get chili relleno at the best Mexican restaurant. Carrie, get Ryan Brooks to take you out. I'm sorry, Ryan. I do appreciate the super chat. I do appreciate the generosity you have given to this channel and your friendship. But I cannot get on the wrong foot when it comes to your significant other, Carrie. I cannot do it. I won't do it. I can't do it. Okay, but thank you so much for the great comment and super chat. I appreciate it. If you want to support this channel through a super chat, put down a comment, hit that $sign. We'll get you a comment as soon as possible. Okay, so we're getting a little crazy here, right? We're going to be doing our predictions. Now, I got to say, I did the best I could, okay? There's 133 FBS schools, and I'm going to make 121 of you angry with me. 121 fan bases angry with me. And the 12 that I have in the playoffs, some of you are going to be going, oh, that's my team. But Greg, you've got them too low. Are you crazy? Yes, I'm crazy. I'm crazy for doing this in the first place. But anyways, you can still rip on me in the chat. That's fine. You can still rip on me in the chat. Now, most of my 12 teams that I have predicted in the college football playoffs are what most of you would have, right? I might have one little surprise. I don't think it should be a surprise. I think a school coming out of the SEC, I've got them in the playoffs. It's going to be very interesting to see when people come out with their playoff predictions. Do they have this particular SEC team in the playoffs? Now, most people are going to be putting 3 SEC teams in the playoffs, 4, maybe 5. And if they're going to go 4 or 5, they're going to have to put this one particular SEC team in the playoff. I'm going to tell you right off the bat a couple teams that I do not have in the 12-team playoffs. One of them, I could not find a spot for Ole Miss. And they got Juice Wells. And Lane Kiffin is doing an incredible job at Ole Miss. Unbelievable job. He really is. They're knocking on the door. They very well might just kick that door down and get into the college football playoffs, but I could not find the room for them. Also, Louisville. I don't have Louisville in the college football playoffs. I have a couple teams from the ACC, and one is going to be a shocker. An absolute shocker. And it got to the point where I'm trying to figure out, how can I have this team in my first way too early, crazy 12-team college football playoff prediction? I cannot have this team in there. They're going to shut this YouTube channel down if I put this team in there. So I tried to figure out a way that I could have. I was trying to figure out a way to push them out, but then I felt like I'm being like the college football selection committee. I have a very, well, the chat room is going to go ballistic when I show one of the teams that I've got in the playoffs. Carson, it's Vandy's time to shine. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Is Vandy that one SEC team? We will find out when we unveil the predictions. I'm going to do a chalk talk. I'm going to put it on the virtual chalkboard. I hope it works out correctly, because you all know that the host of this show is not the brightest bulb in the fridge. I think I've got it set up correctly. I do it on episodes. I very rarely do it on live shows. I've done it. I've tried to do it before, and it went pear-shaped on me. I think I'm going to be okay, but I'm not sure. So this whole live show could just go pear-shaped. But anyways, we'll find out what happens here. First of all, thank you, Carson, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you guys so very much. Ryan Brooks, Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Michigan, FSU, LSU, Penn State, Oregon, Utah, Texas, Missouri, and Boise State. Interesting. Jared Jones, Ole Miss is absolutely killing it in the transfer portal. Nathan Campbell, Greg, do you possibly see the 3 conference with the Mountain West, ACC, and Conference USA? I don't know what the question is there, Nathan. I don't know what the ultimate question is there. So we put it in the chat, and I'll figure out what you're trying to ask. I appreciate it, but I don't quite understand the question. First of all, let me thank everybody who have come in early in this live show. A lot of people already. Holy smokes. Bruce Harris, Boomer, Ryan Brooks, hi. Richard L., the Buffalo, Early Peak Memories Sunday Night, PATC, Stephen McNeely is in the house. Nathan, of course, is in the house. Randy Taylor, our friend, Genetics 56, is in the house. Anthony Palika, actually catch him a live show. Woohoo! That's right, John Till, Early Peak member. Dion is dominating. Colorado will have most talent in the Big 12 next year. The Big 12. That's a very different. Okay. Come on. It's the Big 12. There is going to be more diversity in the predictions when it comes to the Big 12 in 2024 than any other conference. That includes the Autonomy 4 conferences and the G5 conferences. Big 12 is ridiculous next year. I had to pick a champion. I did so. I've got him in the playoffs, of course, obviously. We'll go through the rules once again when it comes to that. Randy Taylor's in the house. Jared Jones. Darrell MVP24 is in the house. Old Ducks fan 1 is in the house. Daniel Smith. Fight on from Big Ten country. Holy smokes. The Trojans. Will Howard. It looks like. Hagen is in the house. Sean is in the house. Yes. We're going a little crazy. We're going a little crazy tonight. Way too early. Way crazy too early. College football playoff predictions for next year. The first year of the 12-team expanded playoffs. Before we get to that, we do have some news we got to get to. This is college football. Peek around the corner. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. The big news, Kyle McCord, Ohio State Buckeye transfer quarterback Kyle McCord has committed to the Orange. New head coach Fran Brown. Kyle McCord has 1 year of eligibility left. This is a big get for the Orange. Fran Brown's first year as a head coach. Kyle McCord has 1 more year of eligibility. Nobody a month ago, 2 months ago, when Fran Brown was hired, nobody was anticipating this. Big get for the Orange. New North Dakota State head coach has been named. Sources: Pete Thamel, Wyoming offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach Tim Polasek is the new North Dakota State Bison head coach. Big time hire for North Dakota State. Watch that name in the next few years, Tim Polasek. Boom. Penn State has their new defensive coordinator. Former Indiana head coach Tom Allen is set to become the new defensive coordinator at Penn State. By Pete Thamel. Look, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a strong opinion of this either way. Okay? I really don't. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I do not have an opinion on this. But the Penn State message boards, as happy as they were to get that new offensive coordinator from Kansas, Kotelnicki, they are upset. They are upset with the hire of Tom Allen. Now, as you know, X, formerly known as Twitter, is not the real world. Message boards are not the real world. Most Penn State casual fans or serious fans may like the hire, but when it comes to the Penn State message boards, they do not like this hire. Of course, Jared Jones, the Buckeye, great hire for the Nittany Lions. Is Jared Jones, early peak member, in the chat? Is he saying that because he truly feels it's a great hire for the Nittany Lions? Or is Jared Jones saying that because it's a great hire for the Ohio State Buckeyes that Tom Allen is the new defensive coordinator for Penn State? Okay. Other breaking news. This has been said in the chat by NE. We had it already. The expectation is that former Kansas State star safety Kobe Savage is going to transfer to Oregon. Sources tell 247 Sports was an all Big 12 selection each of the last 2 seasons, posted 115 total tackles and 6 interceptions the last 2 seasons. I believe next year is Savage's 6th year. He had a COVID year in there. He's got a whole lot of experience. This is a big time get for Oregon. Does it influence my predictions on the 12-team playoffs? that we're going to do tonight? Maybe. Jerry Jones, no, really, I mean it, Craig. Okay. Jerry Jones thinks it's a good pickup for the Nittany Lions to get former head coach Tom Allen for their defensive coordinator. Here is a big one. Juice Wells has committed to Ole Miss. Now, Juice Wells, 2 years ago, Juice Wells was the real deal Holyfield for South Carolina Gamecocks. He, in the transfer portal, I believe a couple days ago, Juice Wells was like the number 2, maybe the number 1 rated guy, but the number 1, number 2 rated wide receiver in the portal. Juice Wells 2 years ago was a guy who could get open, but was a guy who could beat you deep. Dynamic wide receiver. Then he got injured this year. So I think this is going to work out great for Ole Miss, for Lane Kiffin, and hopefully for Juice Wells. Hopefully he rocks and rolls this year and gets to the NFL draft in the spring of 2025. Juice Wells, this is a big time get for the Rebels. And again, former Vanderbilt quarterback A.J. Swan had 2 pretty decent years at Vanderbilt. Expected to transfer to South Carolina. Sources tell 247 Sports. Swan threw for over 300 yards in 2 of the 6 games he played in this year. Will add to a quarterback room that already includes, so whoever, we don't have that. But that is the big news. So, let's get to the crazy, the unbelievable, way too early. Boy, I hope I don't screw this up. You guys know I am incompetent. Okay, here we go. Hold on. See, I already screwed it up. Everybody, hang on. Holy smokes. Okay, let's Okay, hopefully this works out. Now, I'm going to go through the brackets of my way too early 2024-2025 12-team expanded playoffs, the first year of the expanded playoffs. Then I'll get to your comments, and then we'll get to your phone calls, and you can let us know, the PATC community, what you think is going to happen. Of course this is stupid. Of course this is crazy. But we're going to do it anyways. We're going to have some fun tonight. Now remember, the 12-team playoffs, we are going to go with 5-7. We think that's going to be the result. That's what we think is going to happen. It could be 6-6, where they're the top 6 rated conference champions get an automatic berth, and then there's going to be 6 at large. But for what we're doing tonight, because we are projecting it's going to be 5-7, we went with the 5 top conference champions, rated them 1 through 5. And then we took the at-large, the top 7 at-large teams. The 5th conference-rated champion doesn't automatically get the 5th spot. It goes to 5 gets the automatic berth, the top 5 rated conference champions. But then the top 4 conference champions get the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one gets slotted in wherever they end up in the PATC selection committee and in real life when we get to 2024. Okay? Hopefully everybody understands that. Now, I'm going to go through this. I'm not going to get to your comments. I'm going to get to your comments after this is all done and your phone calls. Okay? And hopefully I do not screw this up. 2024 college football playoffs prediction. Crazy too early. Okay? Number five. Number five, which means that this school has the top at-large ranking. Top, or they're the fifth conference champion, right? Fifth highest conference rated champion. But for the number five spot, it is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They got their guy, Riley Leonard. They've had a great portal. They had a pretty good season last year. It looks like they got some juice. Mitchell, wide receiver from FIU. It looks like they've got some juice. They lost their running back, but they're going to have a big-time defense coming in next year. They've got the Duke kid, the defensive end edge rusher from Duke. They got a whole bunch of guys. Notre Dame, number five. They got a doable schedule. I've got Marcus Freeman, number five. The best at-large team. Look, I don't... So, the final rankings could have Notre Dame like at number 2, number 3, number 4. Undefeated, whatever. But then you got to push Notre Dame down to number 5 because they can't get one of the top 4 spots. They can't get one of the top 4 spots. Okay? Number 5, Notre Dame. Number 12, Liberty. Liberty, I have at number 12. I have them as the 5th ranked conference champion out of the Conference USA. Okay? Now, I when I was researching this, I could have sworn that Caden Salter, the great quarterback of Liberty this last year, did an unbelievable job. I thought he put his name in the transfer portal. But it looks like he didn't. It was a backup. The Liberty's backup quarterback went in the transfer portal, but not Caden Salter. It looks like he is returning for next year for Jamie Chadwell. So that right there, I have Liberty just beating out some other G5 contenders. I believe that Michael Pratt is not going to go to the portal. He does have another year of eligibility, but I think that Michael Pratt, the Tulane great quarterback, I think he's going to go into the NFL draft. That seems to be the latest steam after Tulane's bowl game. I could be wrong. Again, this is way too crazy, way too early predictions. But anyways, I've got Notre Dame versus Liberty. First round game in South Bend. Remember, the first round of the 2024 playoffs, the first round is at the higher rated conference's home stadium. If they want it at their home stadium. If they don't, they get to choose where they want the game. Some might select to go into a dome. I really don't think so. But anyways, number 5, Notre Dame versus number 12, Liberty. Number 6 rated. Number 6 rated in the PATC. Way crazy too early predictions for the playoffs. Number 6, I've got the Texas Longhorns. Now, is this crazy? Yes, it is. Texas going in the SEC. Texas has a tough schedule. Is Quinn Ewers even coming back? See, I've got Quinn Ewers coming back to Texas next year. I believe it's one of the reasons Malik Murphy left in the portal. Xavier Worthy's coming back next year. Arch Manning's coming back next year. Backup quarterback. Texas is loaded. I have Texas as the number 6 team in the playoffs, which means that, I've got them as the second best SEC team next year. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Of course I'm crazy. Let's see who they face. Now, buckle up. Brace for impact. PATC community, please do not leave the chat after you see this prediction. I know you're going to want to turn it off. I know you're going to hit the mute button. You're probably going to, if you're watching this on your TV set, you're probably going to throw something at your TV set. Do not do it. Don't. Okay? Don't. This is the way crazy, way too early predictions. These are going to change. But I honestly did not put this team in here to be controversial. I actually looked at this team's schedule. Now, this will give you a little bit of a hint. This team's schedule, the dates are not out yet. So I don't know I don't know I don't know who's their first game, second game, third game, fourth game, fifth. But I know the matchups. I know the home and away, and this team looks like they're going 11-1 next year. I think they're going 11-1 next year. And what does that mean? I think they get the last at-large bid. Who is this team? SMU Mustangs. We're going to have a Texas versus SMU in Texas Stadium in the first round of the first time ever 12-team college football playoff. Preston Stone coming back. Great year this year. He's only going to get better. Look at SMU's schedule. Florida State game. What other game they got there in the ACC? What other game? That is a doable schedule. You see how SMU closed out this season? Holy smokes. This team is on the rise. They've got the portal going. They've got the NIL money going. And they've got a schedule. The first time in 2024, I have SMU in my way too early college football playoffs. Again, hopefully you didn't throw your TV hopefully you didn't throw something at hopefully you didn't throw your phone, okay? SMU, number 11. They've SMU'd in their way to the ACC, and I think they're going to come in second in the ACC. They're probably going to lose the ACC championship game, so they'll finish 11-2 and get this spot. Number 7, Alabama. Jalen Milroe's coming back. I think Alabama is going to be good enough to get into the college football playoffs, but I don't think they're going to be the best team in the SEC. So number 7, Alabama versus number 10, Oregon. Now again, look. A lot of Oregon Duck fans are saying, 10? By the way, Oregon Ducks just got some great news. They got the defensive end rusher from Arizona State, Billy Green. That news just broke before we came on live. Oregon Ducks, I got them at number 10. I cannot see. They're going into the Big Ten. They do have a pretty tough schedule. But the Dylan Gabriel situation, he's perfect for Oregon. He is perfect for that system. I've got the Oregon Ducks. They're going to lose a couple games. They might lose 3. But when the selection committee says the best team, I think they're going to have Oregon at the back of the at-large bids, but I think they're going to have them in there. Of course, Oregon's going to They should have a pretty good running game. It looks like Bucky Irvin's going to the NFL draft. We shall see what happens. They lost some running backs to the portal, but they're picking up a whole lot of guys. I've got Oregon at number 10. Yes. Yes, I'm a fool. Yes, I got Penn State at number 8. The Penn State Nittany Lions. Drew Aller, he just got done with his first full season. Right? They're bringing back Singleton, the running back. But look, they got Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator from Kansas. Tom Allen, I don't know how that's going to work out. Penn State's schedule is manageable. Penn State number 8 versus number 9. Missouri. The Missouri Tigers. That's the SEC team. I think they're going to finish ahead of Tennessee, Kentucky, all the Ole Miss, all the other contenders coming out of the SEC. I believe it's Missouri Tigers. Cody Schrader, Cook the quarterback, Burden the great wide receiver. They're all coming back. They're all coming back from Missouri. And they picked up some guys in the portal. Missouri is number 9. So what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? The winner of Notre Dame and Liberty will play number 4, Utah. The Utah Utes, I've got them as number 4 in my way crazy too early predictions. It's difficult, ladies and gentlemen. The Big 12 is going to be difficult. It's going to be even, Steven. It's going to be a lot of losses spread out, right? Spread out. Cameron Rising coming back is the difference maker. The straw that stirred Utes back-to-back Pac-12 championships, drinks. So I've got Utah number 4. Ranked ahead of Liberty, but ranked behind the other 3 conference champions we'll get to in a second. So Utah will be playing against Notre Dame or Liberty. Texas SMU will be playing against 3rd-ranked Florida State. I have got Florida State Seminoles projected to be able to get DJ Ungale. Today he's on his 2nd visit. Got Rademacher coming back next year. He might flourish, ladies and gentlemen. But Florida State, yes, they're losing guys, but they're getting a lot of guys coming back. I think they've got replacements ready for Johnny Wilson, things like that. Somebody's going to win the ACC. And look, go through what teams have been losing in the ACC. Go look at what they've been losing. A lot of teams have lost, and I'm not going to put Miami of Florida up there. Cristobal has to show me. He has to earn it from me for me to put that team up there in the top 2, top 3 in the ACC. North Carolina State is interesting. They took the center from, they've got a center from Notre Dame who's played a lot of snaps. They got McCall, the quarterback from Coastal Carolina. North Carolina State's getting interesting. Maybe we'll move them up here in later predictions. And of course, I got SMU. So Florida State, I've got number 3. Alabama, the winner of Alabama and Oregon versus Georgia. I know Georgia have lost a ton. They've lost a ton. But I still think they're going to be the best team in the SEC next year. They had an off game against Alabama. They've won everything the last 3 years except for that Alabama game. I think people are going to be making a big mistake sleeping on the Bulldogs. And I have number 2, Georgia. Number 1, if J.J. McCarthy comes back. If J.J. McCarthy comes back. If he doesn't, this whole thing gets switched. But if J.J. McCarthy comes back, I've got Michigan. Number 1, ladies and gentlemen, I think Michigan's going to win the national championship this year. So off of that, and their defense is going to be great next year again. They're going to have some replacements on the offense, But if J.J. McCarthy does come back, I've got them number 1 versus Penn State, the winner of Penn State and Missouri. So that is my way too early crazy predictions on who the 12 teams are going to be in the college football playoffs. We're having some fun tonight. I know it's crazy. I know it's ridiculous. But we had to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We had to do it. I'm going to get to your comments right now. Right away, I see where's the maroon and gold. No Ohio State. Now, I see a lot of great. Okay. I don't have Ohio State. Now, again, a month from now, when I do this again, probably, or 6 weeks, 2 months from now, I very well might have Ohio State in it. But who's the quarterback? Who's the quarterback? Ken Holtz? Is it Devin Brown? Maybe. But if you notice all the teams in the playoffs, they've got a prime quarterback ready to go. If Quinn Ewers is not coming back, I'm going to change. Texas probably gets switched out. Or they drop from number 6 back into 10 or 11. If J.J. McCarthy doesn't come back, Michigan's not going to be number 1. Right? But all the other teams, and Caden Salter, if he doesn't come back for Liberty, I think he's going to though. But if he doesn't come back for Liberty, I don't have Liberty in the number 12 spot. There's been a lot of changes at James Madison. There's been a lot of changes at the top level of those G5 schools. UTSA is losing their quarterback of the last 4 years. So I've got Liberty up there. So that has a lot to do with it. I don't have Ohio State, but that could change. I need to know who their quarterback is. Where's Cameron Ward going? Wherever he ends up, that's probably going to switch up the predictions. Again, December 17th, we're not even out of the portal. Greg, those funny plants are not legal yet in Minnesota. I think they are, actually. I think they are. Derek Marie, I'm starting to like this list. You Wolverines kill me. Phenomenal Hebrew. I came in late. You don't have Oregon on the list. I have them at number 10. I have Oregon at number 10. I do have them on there. Dylan Gabriel. I don't know what they're going to do at the running back spot. That doesn't mean I don't think they're going to have a successful running game. They will. But I don't know who's going to be RB number 1. They got a tough schedule. Everybody has a tough schedule in the Big Ten, but Oregon has an especially tough schedule. I've got them getting the second to the last at-large spot. That for me, that's like the Oregon-Ohio State spot, and I've got Oregon just a little bit ahead of the Buckeyes. So in the Big Ten, I have who do I have? I've got Michigan, Penn State, and Oregon. Okay, in the SEC, I've got Georgia, Alabama, Texas, and Missouri. Ole Miss just missing out. So I've got 7 of the 12 spots going to Big Ten SEC. I've only got one Big 12, and that's Utah. Looking at Arizona, right? Quarterback coming back, right? Arizona. Colorado coming back. They've got a whole bunch of new offensive linemen. Do they have enough on the defensive side? West Virginia, Garrett Green's coming back. West Virginia, are they set up? They lose some of that offensive line, but are they, to me, The Big 12 is going to be we don't know what's going to happen from week to week. And I had to give Utah the nod. Whittingham, he's done it. Back-to-back Pac-12 championships, and Cameron Rising's coming back. Okay. Cameron B, early peak member, Kansas Jayhawks are making the college football playoffs. Opie, I will lay money on Arizona as being the dark horse next year. Yep. Richard L. been getting D-line. The Buffaloes have been getting D-line this weekend. Lee says the Ducks not win the Big Ten. Black Rain says Iowa may get in before Penn State. Who's Iowa's offensive coordinator? We don't know. Again, my predictions are obviously gonna switch around after we know more in another month. It's crazy to do a 12-team playoff this tonight. Let's go over it. I know there's people just joining here. Let me see if I can pop this up once again. We'll just go through real quick. Okay? Real quick. 2024 prediction. Crazy too early. Again, Notre Dame number 5, getting the highest at large spot. At the end of the year, they could be ranked number 2, number 3 in the country. But because they're not a conference champion, they're going to get slotted in at number 5. Number 12, Liberty. 5 versus number 12, Liberty. I think Caden Salter is coming back for Liberty, the quarterback. Not sure, and if he's not, this gets switched around. Number 6, Quinn Ewers. I think he's coming back next year. If he's not, this is going to get switched. Number 6, Texas. I've got them the second best team in the SEC if Quinn Ewers comes back. And holy smokes, the first year in the SEC, I got them number 2. Against SMU. This is the Mustangs are my dark horse. 11-1. Preston are going to finish 11-2 next year. They're going to lose to FSU in the ACC championship game. Preston Stone's coming back. A lot of defensive guys coming back. Lashley just signed a new contract. The head coach. The NIL is going crazy. They're going great in the portal. And look at that schedule. Look at it. We don't know the dates of the ACC schedule. That's coming out in January. But we know the matchups. We know the home and aways. Look at SMU's schedule. Look how they finished. Look who's they're keeping. Look who's they're coming back. SMU, I've got them as my dark horse. Number 7, Alabama against number 10, Oregon. So there's your Oregon. I think they're the 3rd Big Ten team. Number 8, Penn State, new offensive coordinator. Drew Allen. I think they're going to get juiced. by Kansas Jayhawks offensive coordinator. Coltel Nicky. I think this is it for Franklin. He's going to get he's got everything they want. Penn State's got everything they want now. No more 2 divisions. Check that off. No more 2 divisions in the Big Ten. Check that off. They've got an offensive coordinator that the whole Penn State Nittany Lions fan base is going crazy over. Check that off. They've got a quarterback coming back who now got through his first year, right? First full year, going into his second year. He's ready to go. He's got the experience. Check that off. They got a new defensive coordinator, Tom Allen. Who knows if we're going to check that off or not. I don't know how that's going to go. Penn State, and they got the expanded playoffs, right? So Penn State, they got to get into the playoffs next year. Number 9, Missouri. They've got everybody coming back. Brady Cook, the quarterback. Cody Schrader, the running back. Luther Bird, and the wide receiver. They're getting more guys in the portal. Missouri's got to be there. I think they will. I think the Missouri Tigers will make the college football playoff next year. So I've got Notre Dame Liberty versus Utah, number 4. Texas SMU versus number 3 FSU. If FSU gets DJ Ungale or Cameron Ward. Alabama, Oregon versus Georgia. Penn State, Missouri versus Michigan if J.J. McCarthy. If J.J. McCarthy stays. If he goes, that's definitely going to get switched around. Okay, I just wanted to go through that one more time because I know a lot of people have showed up just now. Okay. Let's get to your comments. We're going to get to your phone calls. We're going to open up the phone lines right now. Phone lines are open. 763-260-1333. 763-260-1333. You can talk about anything you want in college football. If you want me to get to your comment right away, hit that $ with a super chat. We'll get to it. And of course, we have early peak. For early peak, we want to be an early peak member. You get early peak episodes, member-only episodes. You'll be the first one to get a little bit of nugget of information. I think we're going to be dropping one tomorrow morning, early tomorrow morning, about 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central in the morning. We've almost got it all ready to prep. I'm almost got the okay to do it. Early peak member. So if you want to become an early peak member, hit the join button. We only have one level of membership, $5.99 a month. And I believe in the chat, if someone can check this out for me, if Ryan Brooks or Richard L. or Joe Z. or Jared Jones, one of the early peak members that are in the chat, I think we're up to about 50 members already. We've only been on this for a month. If one of those gentlemen can check, if you hit the $, let's say you're pretending to do a super chat. If you hit the $, does it give you the option of doing gift membership? Let me know if you see the option of doing a gift membership. We think you have the option now. Nope. Yes. No. Awesome Lawson Clip says no. Stephen McNeely says yes. Ryan Brooks says no. Well, that's interesting. Raider Visions just says no. No. Everybody else is saying no. Okay. Again, I went through YouTube on this. Okay, we thought we got it fixed. We got to go back to it. At some point, you're going to have the ability to offer gift memberships when you're a member. I know a couple people have asked for that ability to do so. I thought we had it fixed. My apologies. My apologies to Mr. Cardinal, Awesome Lawson Clips, and others. I am going to get back on it. That's usually what happens, man. Greg, maybe you have to have more than one level offered. That's not what I was. I was on a big chat with YouTube going through all this. And they said now it's supposed to work now. Josie, it gave me 2 donation options. In this third option to send a message this way. Well, I'm just going to have to go back and, Well, I'm going to have to try to figure it out. I do apologize to the PATC community because I know there are a couple people at least that want to offer gift memberships. And I know there's people who want the membership, who don't have the resources right now. It wouldn't be a good decision on their part. So we're going to figure that out. I do apologize to everybody. Thank you, Joe Z, for being an early peak member. Not sure what's going on, guys. Not sure what is going on. Anthony Palika, did they decide on the 5.7 model for next year? Thank you for the super chat. I don't think they have. I don't think it's official. I think that's what's coming. It's only speculation on my part. Nobody has told me. I think 5.7 is coming, and I think the G5 conferences are going to be willing to do this so they can get help them be able to get playoff access for 2026 and beyond. I think they're in negotiations, so I think we're going to see 5.7. But I could be wrong. Immaculate says commissioners sent their recommendation for 5.7 to the board, but the board hasn't voted yet. Awesome, Lawson. Greg, I'm guessing, but it sort of makes sense to me for some reason that you may need more than one level of membership offered. Just a guess, though. You could be right, but you could be right. I would have no idea, but they did not say that to me in this long. You get in a YouTube chat, right? You're going back and forth. They type something, you type something. They type something, you type something. They say, give me 5 minutes. You sit there for 10. They type something back. You go back and forth. And they never said that. What is free milestone chat? What is that? I don't even know what that is. What is a free member milestone chat? I have no idea what that is. I'm not sure what's going on in my own YouTube channels, ladies and gentlemen. Toby says all I see is dead people, basically. So I don't know what's going on. Again, oh, that's like a free super chat. It's what Joe did. Okay. Great. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? No, it's not. I don't see how it could be. To me, a Christmas movie is one that has Christmas stuff in it, not just when it happened or even the location of it happened. Is hot dog a sandwich? Of course it is. Yes. Die Hard could be a Christmas movie depending on your family. Okay, that's possible. But according to me, it's just I don't see it as a Christmas movie. I think of it as a great movie. I haven't seen it in a while. Okay, phone lines are open. 763-260-1333. There was some other news that I wanted to get to. Jerry Kill. Yeah, Jerry Kill. Greg, wrong twice in one night. First on date night, now Die Hard. But then Ryan Brooks did agree with my way too early predictions.
Call from
Grant.
Grant, is it?
Yes.
All right, the floor is yours. What do you got to say, sir?
All right, thanks, Greg. Yeah, actually, this is my first phone call, but
Beautiful.
yeah. So I want to talk about the 12-team playoffs for next year. So, who did you have to win the Big 12? I think I missed that.
I got Utah.
Utah. All right. Yeah, right now, if I had to pick, I'd say either Utah or my Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Which I'll talk about Arizona in a little bit.
Yep.
But see, you had SMU winning the ACC.
No, I got them losing to Florida State in the ACC championship, and I think they grabbed that last at large berth.
Ooh, okay. So 2 ACC teams.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, right now I think it goes Georgia, Alabama, Texas from the SEC for sure. Okay, so Michigan, Ohio State. Man, Big Ten. I feel like the Big Ten's better than the SEC next year. You gotta put at least either Oregon or Washington. So we got 6 right now.
Yeah.
And then I'll say Florida State wins the ACC. I'm picking Arizona to win the Big 12. You need one group of. Did they ever change the format? Because I know it's supposed to, like right now it's still 6 and 6, right? Like
yeah.
6 champions.
Yeah. I did this. I'm projecting it. It goes 5 and 7. 5 conference champions, 7 at large.
Okay, yeah. So we'll say Georgia wins SEC, Michigan or whoever wins the Big Ten, Arizona, Florida State. Man, who's? I think you have Liberty winning a group of 5, right?
Yeah, if Caden Salter, the quarterback, comes back, and right now it looks like he is coming back.
Yeah, so I'll go with Liberty. Because I feel like, a team like Tulane, I feel like they're more likely to get a couple losses.
And I think they're losing their quarterback. Oh
yeah, they are.
And I think their other quarterback, I'm pretty sure he went in the portal, like their backup quarterback. I think they're trying to find they're desperately trying to find a portal quarterback right now. Tulane is. Yeah.
So I guess Liberty makes sense, even though they're in the worst conference. But hey, if they made the New Year's Six this year, if they go undefeated again, they'll do it. So honestly, like as far as the teams that don't win a championship but get an at-large bid, I feel like it's just gonna be mostly SEC or Big Ten. It'd be cool if Missouri made it.
Well, I've got them making it.
Yeah.
Cool. Brady Cook, Cody Schrader, Luther Burden.
Yeah, Luther. Yeah, that dude's good.
Yeah.
As far as the Big 12, because that's the conference we're going to next year.
Yep.
I feel like the top 5, like the teams that could realistically win it would be Utah, Arizona, Oklahoma State. So that's 3. I feel like Kansas could make it, I think. And I'll say Kansas State. Those are probably the teams I think could win it. So someone in the comments said that he thinks Arizona's going to regress a little bit next year. But, because I frequent Wildcat Authority, so I talk to Jason a lot.
Yep.
We're not, our class of 2022 was insane. It was ranked, I think it was actually ranked 22nd in the country. But, look at the guys coming back next year. Fafita, McMillan, Coleman. We have, almost all of our offensive lines coming back. And we have the replacement for the guy going to NFL. Defense. We have our 2 corners coming. They're NFL players. We do need to fill 1 or 2 guys in the D-line. We're not really going crazy on the portal right now because we already have most of our players set up.
Yeah.
Jason said, if you're a bad team, you're going to want to hit the portal more. You're looking at Colorado and Arizona State. that's why they're bringing in all these guys. Like Colorado had to replace their whole O-line, but we're not going to go crazy. So
Yeah. No, when I did this exercise, first of all, it was way more difficult than I could imagine. And even though first of all, it's crazy to do it because we're not even through the portal yet, right? But even if you pretended like you knew who was going to be there and all this, it was still incredibly difficult. It was very difficult in the Big Ten. It got very difficult in the SEC because I wasn't going to have Missouri not make it. And if Quinn Ewers comes back, I think Texas makes it. Then you get to the Big 12, and it's a complete. I had on my top 4 teams in the Big 12. I had Kansas State because of Avery Johnson. If Jalen Daniels is healthy, Kansas is there. Then I had Arizona because their quarterback and O-line's coming back. And then I have Utah because of Cameron Rising and what Whittingham's done and what they've done there. I had Oklahoma State out of the top 4 of the Big 12. And that's very difficult to do. But that's, and then West Virginia, that's difficult. So...
yeah, they're interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tough, but we got to start somewhere, right? So we're starting today, December 17th. We'll do this again at the end of January. We'll keep doing this, and it's a good way to learn all the team. Go through the exercise. You go through the schedules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, so I'm going and head off to let some other people call in. So, have a good rest of the stream.
You got it. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks. Call again.
All right, yeah, I will.
You got it. Okay. Richard L., he likes his Colorado. He's going bowling next year.
Call from
Kansas State fan.
Kansas State fans on the line. Avery Johnson, the floor is yours.
That's right, Avery Johnson. I got so many nicknames pulled up for him now. One of them, he's from a town called Mays, Kansas, so I call him the Mays Maine because of his golden hair. The Sunshine, of course, that's another one. He smiles a lot, of course, with the golden hair as well. It flows so beautifully down when he's running on the field. All right, enough of my man crush. Man stuff. I was just messing around right there. So a few things. You did actually bring up. You did bring up several K-State players in regards to the transfer portal here or there, right? I think, did you bring up Kobe Savage at all? Or
Yep, I'll put it back up on the screen here. Savage to Oregon. I think this year is going to be like his 6th year, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
He spent several years in the JUCO ranks, and I believe the last 2 to 3 at K-State.
Yep. I got it up on the screen. Went through it during the monologue. He is going to Oregon. Yep.
I'd probably say out of all the players for K-State, this one probably hurts the most, just in terms of the amount of potential loss. And he's dealt with several injuries, several health concerns, especially towards the late portion of the season, the last two years. So if he possibly does end up at Oregon, I deeply hope he's healthy enough to play all 12 games during the year. Maybe if Oregon does play USC, maybe we'll get a little bit of Will Howard versus Kobe Savage as well, just from an offense versus defense standpoint as well. So, I don't know.
USC is another team I did not have in my playoffs because, I got to see it to believe it on the defensive side. But it looks like they're going to get Will Howard, correct?
Yeah, it sounds like we're going to be getting Will Howard. I think one of the guys who works for On3, he put one of the crystal balls in, and I think it's likely going to be Will Howard ending up at USC. And I especially hope for Will Howard's sake that USC is able to do something with their defense. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not a USC guy by all means, but I will do anything to cheer for Will Howard wherever he ends up.
Yeah.
Not in Kansas or Missouri, but
yeah.
USC's defense is they got to step it up, or it's for lack of better terms, it's poop or get off the pot time for Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
So that's another one out there as well. In terms of, and I was listening a little bit to Grant, the Arizona guy. Shout out to Grant. He did a great job, kind of giving his in-depth stuff about Arizona. I looked at their schedule a little bit, and they do have road trips to K-State and Utah this next year. But the good thing for Arizona is that the game in Manhattan will not count as a conference game. That was already a non-conference series in the plans, but they didn't have enough time to change the schedules for that matter. So that kind of a little curveball into it. So really, they're difficult trips: Utah, UCF, BYU, and TCU, and then they get West Virginia at home for that matter as well. So there's a good chance Arizona comes out of there with maybe 1 or 2 losses. They could certainly contend for a Big 12 championship for that matter as well. But man, they get to dodge a bullet because K-State game, Arizona and K-State, that won't be a conference game. So I guess K-State dodges a bullet for that matter as well. But they got a little bit more of a difficult road slate, if you ask me.
Okay.
They play at Iowa State, at West Virginia, and at Colorado as well. And who knows what we'll see out of Colorado? Maybe they are the most talented team, or maybe it's a new norm for Deion Sanders for that matter as well. But we also get Oklahoma State and Kansas at home for that matter as well. I think actually we also play at Tulane next year. I just realized we play at Tulane. I saw a tweet from Brett McMurphy that Michael Pratt is he just announced he is opting out of a bowl game for that matter as well. It came out about 50 minutes ago.
What? Who said this?
Brett McMurphy.
Because he's going to go into the draft.
They said he's preparing for the Senior Bowl.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what I had heard earlier today, that Pratt was going to go into the NFL draft this spring, and that is why that is another reason why I took Liberty over Tulane in my way too crazy early predictions.
I honestly don't know what to expect from the Group of 5 next year, and I think Liberty is going to continue dodging a bullet, having Conference USA competition, and they don't have. It's just not a whole lot of competition. I thought New Mexico State would have given them a run, but that didn't happen to be the case. So
New Mexico State was all beat up at the end here. They were, they played 15 games this year. They just got whooped in their bowl game. They were all beat up. Their quarterback was beaten up, who's coming back next year, by the way.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think their 2 coordinators announced they were leaving though. Their offensive and defensive coordinators.
Yeah, their offensive coordinators. Their offensive coordinator Beck is taking a job. I forget where he's taking a job. And I don't know if it's a defensive coordinator, but somebody on the defensive side, it might have been a defensive coordinator, is also leaving. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. There's two things I kind of want to get out of the way. For one, I'd probably want to throw another Big 12 title contender out there. I think Iowa State, just with what we've seen this year under Matt Campbell, getting his guys better and better as the weeks go on.
Mm-hmm.
They 8-4 this year. They look. I mean, like I mentioned, they look better week by week. Their quarterback Rocco Becht is coming back for another season. A lot of weapons for that matter as well. Iowa State had one of the younger teams in the Big 12 this past season. They were still able to go 8-4. So I would also maybe to a lesser degree, but I'd also put Iowa State in contention for the Big 12 championship for that matter as well. So that's one. That's one. And then second, and I kind of want to hear your thoughts on this, Greg. What happens to the bowl structure when one, the Pac-12 dissolves? Like, where do you think there'd be the conference affiliations here and there? And then two, how would they have to take away several bowl games because of the amount of teams starting to make more teams making it to the playoffs or something like that? I don't know. What are your thoughts on the bowl structure?
The second question, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. I don't have an answer for your second question because that's the first time I've really heard it that way. The first question, The Athletic put out an article, I believe it was The Athletic, talking about how after the bowl season is over, there's going to be a lot of jockeying in regards to those bowl games that had tie-ins with the Pac-12. There's going to be a lot of moving around, like the Sun Bowl and the LA Bowl, the Vegas Bowl now will only be whatever. Like, nobody knows how it's going to all end up. So I don't have an answer for you that as well. But they do realize that after the bowl season's over, it's going to be a mad scramble, and we'll see what happens. It's going to be crazy, but I don't have an answer which bowl go. It doesn't sound like any of them think they're going to get eliminated. It sounds like there's still going to be 41 bowl games. But then your second question's a really good question. I don't know. I'm just a firm believer that in terms of bowl selections, it should be 7-win teams that are able to make the cut because I don't want to sound like a broken box, and I've done several podcasts about it before, but it's the 6-6 bowl games that aren't going to draw too much interest. I mean, I understand you're getting the extra week or two, getting the additional practices here or there with your guys, but I mean, you finished 6-6. I don't think, and that's more of a participation trophy. What the reason why there's 41 bowl games? The reason why there's 41 bowl games is because the people who put the bowl games on still make money. They find whoever's sponsoring, who's ever putting the games on, the community, who's ever wants the bowl games, they feel like they're still coming out ahead, even with the 6-6. They're coming out ahead because of the money that there's still a media, there's still a market for them when it comes to a media partner putting it on. There's still enough money being spread around in the community. People going to the games. It's not jam-packed stadiums. The hotels get a little bit more money. That's the reason why we have 41 games is because there is enough interest for nobody's taking it. No one's losing money off this deal. So that's why you have, so I don't know. I don't think we'll see what happens. The 12-team playoffs, maybe we get a reduction of a few bowl games. But I don't think we're going to like 20 bowl games or anything like that.
Well, put this into consideration as well. The playoff they previously had 4 teams who are making the playoffs until next year. Now they're going to have 12 teams. So if you take eight of those teams into the expanded playoff, wait. Actually, I forgot to put the New Year's Six Bowls into consideration as well because I think the New Year's Six Bowls, they're going to be part of the playoff structure, correct?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
But,
Okay. Yeah. Maybe that changes my thought, but I just see it more as like there's going to be more 5-win teams getting their shot at going bowling. But I don't know. That's just my opinion out there. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Not a really big fan of all the bowl games for that matter. So we'll see. But Greg, continue to keep up with the great work. I might have to get my early peak membership possibly.
Beautiful.
I might do that during the holiday break. So I'll let you know. But
beautiful.
But thanks for the time and God bless.
Thank you. God bless to you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Call again. Go Black 45. Greg, did you see Jerry Keel's rant about the New Mexico's athletic director? Yeah, yes, I did. I've got two thoughts on that, Go Black 45. One is,
Call from
JD.
JD, Mr. Seminole. Can you hold on 1 second?
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. I got two thoughts on that, Go Black 45. One is, I know a little bit about the issue of what Jerry Keel was talking about in regards to his starting quarterback did something he should not have done when they at the University of New Mexico. The starting quarterback was punished for it. Supposedly, Jerry Keel's team did not get the time that they wanted in the practice facility at the University of New Mexico. It's too bad that New Mexico State got the New Mexico Bowl game, which is in Albuquerque, which is in New Mexico country, not New Mexico State country. It's too bad they didn't get a better bowl game than that. So Jerry Keel might have had reason to say what he said. However, Jerry Keel, he's a great coach, right? He's propped up every program he's ever coached at, and that includes the Minnesota Golden Gophers. He's the one who made it not the bottom dweller of the Big 12. However, he is unbelievably thin-skinned. Unbelievably thin-skinned. He melts down everywhere he goes. At the end of his tenure at Minnesota, he'd be yelling at the press at Minnesota. And I got to tell you, the press at Minnesota, when it comes to college sports, are the easiest, friendliest, non-confrontational press you could ever be in front of. Literally. It's like being in front of your grandma and grandpa. The press here in Georgia is not the same press in Tallahassee, where JD, it's completely two different universes. And Jerry Keel could not handle that. He could not handle. Then he went on to become athletic director at, I don't know if it was Southern Illinois, and then he became an assistant at offensive coordinator for a year with Rutgers at Shiano. He's been going to place to place to place. He's at New Mexico State. He's been an unbelievable job the 2 years he's been there. Unbelievable. No question about it. But the next meltdown is just around the corner. As we say here at college football's peak around the corner. His next meltdown, he cannot keep it together. Hopefully he's got his challenges under control, with his, I'm not going to get in. I don't want to get into the guy's health, but hopefully he keeps it under control. But even if he has a great point with it, he went about it the wrong way, and he's going to do it again. That is Jerry Keel. He's unbelievably prickly individual. JD, the floor is yours. How you doing, sir?
Good, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. We're having fun tonight. We did our way crazy, way too early predictions for the 2024 college football playoffs. So we went off the rails tonight.
Well, I caught your top 12, and it seems pretty reasonable.
Wow.
I mean, we don't know. We'll have a better indication, come spring. But the ACC's a wild card next year. I don't have any idea. If Miami gets Cam Ward now, they might be a conference favorite because even though you don't get good coaching at Miami, he'll have enough experience, to.
Yeah,
he's had good coaching at least up to this point.
Is that the scheme, Cameron Ward to Miami?
Sir?
Is that the scheme, Cameron Ward to Miami? Because everybody else seems to be filling up the quarterback spot. Is it Cameron Ward to Miami, do you think?
Cam Ward and DJ were both in Tallahassee this weekend.
Yeah, both in Tallahassee, both in Miami.
They're both very interested in FSU. I think Cam is just taking a moment to take everything in, and I think DJ is all in. If FSU had offered him today, I think he would have committed today. So he, you saw his video that some of the beat were asking him questions at the end of his official visit, and both of them, they were just glowing remarks about FSU and their staff and everything else. So, but even though Cam would be the number one choice, I kind of get the feeling that FSU very comfortable with DJ. Like they know exactly what he is,
Yeah, Cameron Ward's got the higher ceiling, but I think he's got the lower floor.
Yes, but DJ's got the potential to raise his ceiling. You would assess him that okay, this is the highest he could get. But could that ceiling change? Yeah, it can. He's got the arm. He's got the ability. You would normally assess people, there's your ceiling and there's your floor, but those can change. Those dynamics can change. Now, how much can that change in 1 year? You don't know. But the ACC is a wild card. What Miami does have, they're strong in the trenches in the next few years, really strong, and they're about to flip one of our 5-star defensive linemen. Actually, they've pretty much already flipped him. They're just paying him more. I mean, we could pay it. They're overpaying. So we're going to lose that one. But we got a shot to get LJ McCray from Florida. It's maybe 30%. Right now, the ones that we have a shot flipping is Jeremiah Smith, believe it or not, from Ohio State. It's probably 55-45, Ohio State probably 55 and us 45. The rumor is he wants to go to FSU, but his dad wants him to go to Ohio State. And so we'll just see how that plays out. But, he's been to Tallahassee like 15 times. He was there last weekend. He just loves it there. But we'll see. We'll see. And there's a couple of other ones. But yeah, as far as next year at FSU, we could go 12-0 and we could go 9-3. Yeah. It's really tough to say. And if we do go 9-3, I mean, don't think we took a step back because the recruiting class coming in is crazy. Mm-hmm. But it's just going to be that tweener year that you just don't know. And but we'll see. We'll see. But don't sleep on Louisville. They're adding a lot of pieces too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Clemson, we can't forget about them. They're going to have a lot of that team back. And if a quarterback, if he can, an extra year with Garrett Riley,
yeah,
will go a long.
Yes, and this is very odd for me to say this because the Clemson wide receivers of the previous 5 years have been incredible. But last year, their wide receiver room was not good at all. And so I need to see something with that. I need to see some big plays downfield. Clemson didn't have any this year. And, of course, Klubnik. So I couldn't quite do it. And there has to be one long dark horse in there, right? So
Sure.
I have to have SMU. I'll probably switch SMU at some point, in the spring. But right now, I got to have one shocker in there. And if you look at SMU's schedule, they have Florida State, but the rest of that schedule, I don't know. I think it lines up pretty good.
Well, Rhett Lashley, he's a good play caller.
Yeah,
he really is.
Yep. And Preston Stone, and he's got it going. And they're not losing people in the portal, so we'll see. I'm definitely crazy, JD. I'm definitely crazy. But am I crazy like a fox? That's the question. Am I finally going to be Greg the Heater next year?
Next year is going to be the most unpredictable year because there's, you take teams like Georgia. Georgia's losing so much, and it's not going to necessarily affect next year's team, but they're losing the depth.
Yeah.
It's not. These teams aren't built on one season, one recruiting class. It takes 2 to 3 years. And I heard somebody say 4 or 5 years. Well, teams from players from 4 or 5 years have moved on. So it's usually a 2 to 3 year cycle. That's why I say for FSU, next year is the I don't know year. 2025 is going to be real strong. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're going to be a national championship contender in 2025. But as far as us, we're going to be strong at receiver. We're going to be really strong at running back. Going to be crazy. I mean, we're going to be if we don't lose excessive people to the portal, and I mean like difference makers. If we don't lose them to the portal, then we'll be really good in the secondary, decent in the at linebacker, probably pretty good. Defensive line, we won't be as deep next year, but our front line will be really good, maybe as good as this year's. But we probably won't have as much depth. But, everybody's just assuming that next year, the SEC will go back to being the SEC. No. The dominant teams of Georgia and Alabama every single year, they're still going to be in the mix every year. But NIL has changed everything.
Yeah,
I mean, look at the portal.
Yeah, it has.
Yep. You're not going to have the 2021 Georgias anymore. Or it's going to be very rare.
I agree with you. Yep.
So yeah, the ACC is the biggest wild card of all. Well, Big 12. Don't ask me about Big 12.
Yeah. Besides the Big 12, the ACC is the biggest wild card. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And then SEC, we pretty much know. But Ole Miss looks like they're gonna make a run. They're gonna give it a try.
They got Juice Wells. He was good 2 years ago.
But anyway, I'm gonna cut my conversation tonight. I know sometimes I run a little long, but as of right now, your top 12 seems legit. I think you've definitely done some homework. But again, one could throw it upside down. It's definitely the ACC.
But again, I'm Greg the Cooler, so you got to take it. Got to take it lightly. All right, man. Appreciate the call.
Maybe 2024 is your year.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Maybe. I doubt it. Thank you, JD. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Have a good night.
If you're new to the channel, or if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel and get yourself notified so when we come on live, we can come on live at any time. You'll get notified. So if if we do a live show again tonight because there's some breaking news, and if you have set your notification universally, you'll know that we're coming on live. We also give everybody a little bit of a heads up on X, formerly known as Twitter. So follow us at Flug Empire. So if you're new to the channel, if you enjoy our content, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support this channel through a donation, hit that $sign with a comment. We'll get to your comment right away. And of course, as you all know, although we have new people coming in all the time, Early Peak Member gives you early peak episodes. We're going to be dropping one tomorrow morning. First intel gets dropped here, cloak and dagger style. So that's what you get with an Early Peak membership. Just hit the join button. Now, I got a question from Terry Fox likes my SMU choice. I'm not getting a whole lot of heat for that pick. Maybe I'm onto something. Or maybe I'm on something. Who knows? We're going to find out. Jamie Thornton's got a realignment prediction for next year. Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, and another North Carolina school will announce their ACC departure in 2024. He called Alabama over Georgia to protect his three-peat, and it worked. Did I? I don't even remember if I did or not. Did I really? I don't even remember. Even when I get something right, I don't even remember. That's how far gone. With all these losses that I've piled up. Yes. Okay, well, I'm going to take your word for it, David. I did get something right. There was a question here. Now I can't find it, of course. Yeah. Now it's gone. Grateful Trojan just arrived. Who were Greg's picks? I'll go through them one more time real quick here. My picks from my way too early. Way too early. Whoops. Screwing it all up. Once again, I'm screwing it all up. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. "2024 predictions for the playoffs. Crazy too early. No question about it. Number 5, Notre Dame. I have them as the highest rated at-large team. They could finish 2, they could finish 3, they could finish 4th in the ranking, but they can't get a top 4 ranking in the playoffs because they're not a part of a conference. They cannot be a conference champion. The top 4 conference champions, the top-rated top 4 conference champions will get the 1, 2, 3, 4 spot. Notre Dame gets the 5 spot. I think they're going to be really good next year. Riley Leonard, they got some juice. I think they have their wide receiver room better than they've had over the last 4 or 5 years. Notre Dame. I got a little worry. I still got a little worry about Parker, their offensive coordinator. We'll see what happens. Number 5, Notre Dame versus number 12, Liberty. I'm going to have Liberty as the top-rated G5 school as long as Caden Salter comes back, the great quarterback. I think he is. I'm not sure. Number 6, Quinn Ewers. If he's coming back, I have Texas as the second best team in the SEC. Versus number 11, SMU. This is my dark horse, the Mustang. SMU coming in second in the ACC, losing to Florida State in the ACC championship. Preston Stone coming back. Lashley gets a extended contract. They're not losing anybody in the portal. They're bringing a few pieces into the portal. great NIL program, plus a defense that's largely coming back, plus SMU Mustangs. Look at their schedule. Just look at their schedule. I think 11-2 is definitely a possibility for SMU. Take a look at that schedule. Okay. And then number 7, Alabama, Jalen Milroe coming back. I think they're going to be the third best team in the SEC next year against number 10, Oregon. I think Oregon with Dylan Gabriel is going to be the third best team in the Big Ten. Penn State against Missouri. I cannot see Missouri not making the playoffs next year. I cannot see this Missouri Tigers not making the playoffs. Luther Burden, next year, he's going to be electrifying. The quarterback, Brady Cook, keeps improving. Next year, he's going to take another step. And then Cody Schrader, the great running back, Missouri, Drinkwitz has got that program rocking and rolling. Missouri makes the playoffs. They're going to play at Happy Valley, Penn State. And then, of course, Notre Dame and Liberty, 5-12. The winner plays number 4, Utah, who I've got as the Pac-12 champion, I've got the lowest rated of the top 4 conference champions, besides Liberty, which would be number 5. Texas, the winner of Texas SMU, will play number 3, Florida State. Alabama, Oregon will play number 2, Georgia. And Penn State, Missouri will play number 1, Michigan. If J.J. McCarthy comes back, if J.J. McCarthy doesn't come back, I switch Michigan out. If Quinn Ewers doesn't come back, I take Texas out. So this is my way crazy too early predictions for the brackets for the first time ever 12-team playoffs. It's going to be very exciting. Very exciting during the whole season to figure out who's got the inside track to make the playoffs. Nate Johnson, quarterback, Utah, who went in the transfer portal about a few weeks ago. Nate Johnson has committed to Vanderbilt. Nate Johnson is going to the SEC, going to play for Vanderbilt. Jamie Thornton, I got Ole Miss, just missing it. Bama, Georgia, Texas, Missouri. Ole Miss, they've got themselves the quarterback this year. They got themselves the wide receiver. We'll see what Juice Wells. Breaking news today, South Carolina transfer wide receiver Juice Wells has committed to Ole Miss. 2 years ago, Juice Wells could take the cap off the defense for the Gamecocks, but he got injured. This year he got injured. It was wiped out. Hopefully next year he gets all his steam back. As Howard Cosell used to say, back in the early 70s, on Monday Night Football, Howard Cosell, he would say, Miami's got the oranges, but Buffalo's got the juice. Well, here in college football, in 2024, going into 2024, it's Miami's got the oranges, but Ole Miss got the juice. So, anyways, that's my Howard Cosell imitation. Not very good. Not very good. Okay, let's get back here. Phone lines are open, 763-260-1333. David M. There only can be one SEC team in the top 4. Gerald McKinley, I won't vote for SMU based on one factor, big boy depth. Good point. We'll see what happens first year in the ACC. We'll see what happens. SMU was really good at the end of this year, though, man. They were really good. Really good. Like, Lashley's got that team. They beat a very good Tulane team. They were very good. And I think they're going to be better next year. Preston Stone, Got a first full year quarterback at SMU, did great, but they got a whole bunch of guys coming back. They're not losing guys either. I'm just saying. If Greg doesn't have Notre Dame picked high, he has to go to confession. Don't know about that one. Okay. We're gonna shut this down. It doesn't look like anyone else is calling in, which is fine. This was our crazy show for tonight. Sunday night. We've been heavy all week. We've talked about North Carolina, right? Everything that was going on at North Carolina leading up to the new interim chancellor being placed in on Friday. We have covered that pretty dry, heavy topic, but an important topic. One that we had to cover. We're giving you the peek around the corner. That's what you expect from us. We are doing the homework. We are doing the calling. We are doing the poking. We are doing the prodding. That's what we do here. So we had to cover the story. So tonight, and then yesterday we did the Bill Hancock letter. We did a deep dive in the Bill Hancock. So tonight was all about having some fun, talking about something crazy. Our first predictions for the 2024 12-team playoff are way crazy, way too early predictions. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Make sure you're notified and follow us at X at Flug Empire. We appreciate you all for coming on in. We appreciate the great comments, the great phone calls, the donations that help us keep the lights on here at Peek Around the Corner. Early tomorrow morning, we're going to be dropping an early peak episode. Keep an eye on that for early peak members. If you want to become a member, hit the join button and become a member. It's $5.99 a month. We appreciate all of you. Until next time, from all of us at PATC, to all of you, please you all take great care of each other. Thank you so very much.